Is the U.S. economy McDoomed? One of the ways for us to get a feel on what's going on in the U.S. economy is to look at bellwether providers of goods, services, and food. And it's hard to get much more American, much more bellwether than McDonald's. So let's jump in and see what the CEO of McDonald's is saying about the U.S. economy. We're going to start off with a report, an article by NBC News. It's called McDonald's CEO Warns of a Two-Tier Economy as Lower Income Consumers Spend Less. And we're going to talk about how much of the U.S. economy spending and GDP is based on that low income consumer. So let's jump in. The first thing the fast food giant CEO cited was growing evidence that upper income households are spending freely while the rest of the economy is struggling. In an interview Tuesday on CNBC, McDonald's CEO Chris Kempczinski said that the move was in response to a growing evidence of a divided consumer landscape, the move to introduce and extend McDonald's value menu. He says, the CEO says, particularly with middle and lower income consumers, they are feeling under a lot of pressure right now. It's kind of a two-tier economy. The article goes on to say, by the start of 2025, the richest 10% of Americans, or those earning at least $250,000 a year, accounted for half of all consumer spending, which is a record according to Moody's Analytics. And by comparison, the richest 10% accounted for almost a third, 36% of all consumer spending 30 years ago. So that number has increased almost 50% to over half from 36%. So that's huge. We're going to jump in and get another perspective from Fortune. And what I like about Fortune's article is it talks about how the period of time we're in now is different from the Great Recession as far as consumer spending. And remember, the U.S. consumer represents 70% of the U.S. economy. But before I go there and talk about Fortune, I want to talk about today's video sponsor, which is Chapter. Chapter is a Medicare advisor that I am proud to partner with, and I'm proud to partner with them for three main reasons. And if you're on Medicare, these three reasons are really key. Whether you're on Medicare or you're just qualifying for the first time, you want to work with an expert that is bringing their expertise to you. And every year, people on Medicare have an open enrollment period where they can reevaluate the plan that they're on. The open enrollment period runs October 15th to December 7th. And the three reasons that I'm proud to sponsor with Chapter is, first, their services are free to you and I. There's no reason not to use them. Two, is the average person saves $1,100 a year by using Chapter. That's almost $100 a month. That'll buy a lot of Big Macs. And number three, and most importantly, is if you're on the right plan, they're going to tell you that. You want the person you're talking to on the phone to be using their expertise to help you make the right decision, not to maximize their commissions. And I believe Chapter is a company like that, that's going to put your interests first. And pro tip, all Medicare advisors are about to get really busy during open enrollment. So call the number on the screen above. It's 323-805-8579 for faster service, or go to the link showing up now. Thank you, Chapter, again, for sponsoring this video. Now let's go on to the Fortune magazine, which is going to talk to us about how this period is different than the Great Recession. The Fortune article is called McDonald's CEO is Grappling with a Two-Tier Economy as he slashes prices on value meals, and he's signaling support for a minimum wage increase. We'll get to that in a second. But how is this period of time different from the Great Recession? McDonald's CEO Kempczinski added that this isn't like what McDonald's saw during that, when all of us were trading down. Everybody traded down. What he was seeing was that it was the lower income consumer, and the higher income consumer was continued to spend freely. Now let's talk about this minimum wage quote that's in the article, because frankly, that surprised me. This McDonald's is the quintessential minimum wage, start your career, start earning money, part-time job employer for a lot of us. Um, and what he said was McDonald's is open to raising the federal minimum wage, adding that the company is in dialogue with the White House about several issues, including this one. It's kind of an aside for this, but I thought it was interesting. Back to the NBC article where we have quotes from other fast food restaurants to see if it's just McDonald's. Um, and here's a quote from Chipotle CFO Adam Reamer. And Adam says, there are certain cohorts of the consumer definitely on the lower income side that are feeling pressure right now. So he agrees with McDonald's. The next one is a quote here from the article that talks about companies that rely on consumer splurging. Think Amazon, Royal Caribbean, and Starbucks. They've seen significant underperformed. Their stock has significantly underperformed the rest of the market this year, according to data that they found from the S&P Global Financial Services. So what do you do if, given that the lower income consumer is slowing down? The first thing is, unfortunately, yes, most of us, what we can do is have a long-term asset allocation, and what we can do is prepare mentally. So how do we do that? The asset allocation, that's going to determine 70, 80, 90% of our success as an investor. None of this is financial advice. I don't know your situation. But if you have a long-term asset allocation, you can stick with it over time. That allows you to be in the market for those 10 days every 20 years that are the biggest and strongest years. And if you miss out on those 10 days, multiple studies have shown your total returns over that 20-year period can decrease by 20, 30, 50%. It's significant. So it's the quintessential trying to find the needle in the haystack, which of those 10 days over 20 years is going to be the most important. I don't think we can do that, which is why I think you want to have a long-term asset allocation and stick in the market. And how do you get that? You get that by working with a financial advisor, or you get that by putting together a plan yourself and really thinking through what's your long-term asset allocation. If you wanna do it yourself, which I get, you've worked 20, 30, 40 years, a lot of folks also wanna control their financial plan. If that's you, don't use Google Sheets, don't use Excel, use software designed for you. The software that I like is easy to use, it's affordable, it's powerful. You can see the link down below. It's called Bolden. It used to be New Retirement. I am an affiliate, so you'll be supporting the channel. And if you like this video, the next video of mine I think you should think about watching is this one here, which is talks about the decision on when you retire, and that is why waiting to 65 to retire might be a big mistake. Thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye.